check real quick. Where's my phone? We're gonna do this in the early morning. This is a slow load. What's the latency on this? Oh, the audio is kind of low too. Okay. That's right. Oh, it's coming up fast at least. So everybody's swearing up and down this is about to reach end of service, which I think the speculation is a little too exaggerative, but the last time I said something like that, CM Punk didn't show up to WWE for almost a decade. So sometimes the catastrophizers are right. I like his design here, but it's alright. How many of these do I have now? I'm recovering from all the spending I put myself through. Okay, let's see the conclusion of First Soldier. Really? Oh, I might as well have the one that I like a little bit more. I have no idea what's up with this dude's setup. Or yours for that matter. Let me create some space for my laptop. This is not a comfortable setup since I'm in my room. Well, I like this, it's a little horrifying. Then again, if you're worldly in FF7, you probably dealt with ghosts before, like Train Graveyard, the Gi Tribe, and Cosmo Canyon. Are we ever gonna know who Alyssa is? Why is she doing the Arif lean? Got some crystal, that's great. So I guess the cure for acedia is wanting a busted ass weapon. So you can kill motherfuckers with better than anything else. Oh, the OST here is cinematic. Alyssa and Angeal, they don't really interact much, but I guess that's a nice moment of them just kind of having a laugh together with Bachman. Why is Bachman getting ahead of everyone else? It's so strange seeing Sephiroth go through this trial of facing his own attachments and traumas and demons, pretty much. Okay, this one will have a bout as well. You got everything you need. This guy's dressed to the nines. I mean, yeah, it seems that Angeal is kind of playing the role of the smartass because he's the leader of Soldier. Although, knowing fiction, this is probably going to be one of those he's out of line but he's right situations. Okay, so the fight had nothing to do with anything. Remember when I used to struggle with the main story and then they nerfed everything and I learned how to overboost and mess around with the armory? No, I like made it so I didn't have to go to the armory, and that's what kind of made the overboost feature intuitive to me. Glenn is still sulking about the loss of Rosen. How long ago did he interact with these guys? Couldn't have been too long ago. He reminds me of that like fat dude from the Hangover series who he hung out with those dudes one time and now he's like super attached to the whole experience. Oh, this is an interesting track. Melodically, it's kind of next level. Wait, this guy died from the back-breaking labor of harvesting apples? That's not even the type of farm work they would use chattel slaves for. I guess maybe he had to like do a greater volume of apples and maybe that tore his ass up, but I was thinking he was working in the oil rig, the mines, or something of that nature. I don't know what the equivalent of an oil rig would be in a world where Mako is the predominant energy source. Reactors. guess he sniffed out the path ahead. You know, the themes of like attachment and happiness are somewhat interesting. I don't know if you can apply this to your own life and gain any like meaningful lessons, especially if you're going through a bout of depression. What was this picture of? Well, he probably pines for Rosen. He died a J-horror death where he just turns into a bunch of black mold. Wait, did you leave him with that old ass chicken? I hope the fuck not. That shit is a biohazard now. Okay, so that's what happened. They're in pretty dire straits at the moment. It's so weird that they make the Temple of the Ancients theme into like Sephiroth's theme. Like this new remake meta project really twists up the OST. It wasn't this bad when like remake initially came out, but with like Rebirth and even stuff like this and like First Soldier, Ever Crisis in general, I'm thinking they don't really know how to, sound direct sometimes. Look at this man ruminating about the past. But I guess Refu, or whatever the name of that dog is, he's going through a similar bout as Sephiroth, where he just can't let go of, the past and whatnot. Man, we're looking fresh as hell. At Bachman's knees, he's looking like that old school meme from like 2017, 2018. That black woman just holding her knees in pain. Everyone was thinking she was about to get down with a dance move, but it was clear that she was feeling the sting of straining your connective tissue, your joints. One thing I will say is that back in like the 2010s, people really made it seem like aging was going to be more dramatic than it actually was for me. Because I remember so many of the people I saw on the internet that were like 26, 27, they were acting fucking 50. Like, it got a little chilly out, and all of a sudden, they looked like they were experiencing a Victorian death. This guy is trying so hard to be Bruce Lee at the moment. Although now that I think about it, someone does need to intervene with Sephiroth and his personality, knowing what he becomes in Final Fantasy VII. Where he's so attached to things that he refuses to pass on and die properly. He's just haunting some dude he barely knew when he was in the world of the living. Yeah, Sephiroth is kind of obsessed with this idea of being detached. But in like the negative sense, where it's like, okay, he's trying to act like he has no emotions to anything. And Angeal is trying to put him on like a better version of detachment. You know, the YouTube shorts, like pop philosophy version of detachment. It really feels like First Soldier Season 2 is just a way for us to see Sephiroth's point of view of those events rather than just seeing it from Glenn's perspective.
僕の居場所はない。
居場所は作ればいい。俺もそうした。協力する。
もう頑張れない。
ローゼン頼む。あの人たちを助けると思って。あの人たちは優しくて、きっとそのせいで死ぬ。
さあやれ。もたもたしてるとみんな死ぬぞ。助けたいのは僕じゃないだろ。
I do like the interactions between Sephiroth and Rosen.
決めろ。生き延びてほしいのは誰だ。
It seems like they would have been good friends. They do have like parallels that Glenn mentioned before. Is it gonna make me choose? I really just want to understand Sephiroth more as a character. Okay, I want to fight Glenn. So we never saw the sequence with Hojo. I assume that's coming soon. Oh, Blighted Spirit. Event fight. He's probably gonna be tricky to fight with, just Sephiroth and Angeal. I assume he's gonna be the EX fight for this chapter. That laughter could be Hojo. Why is she taking the lead? to be a pretty childish one, but I've seen the sentiment quite often where people want to be regressed into like a infantile state where they don't have to express their executive function. Give us a report. I like these summaries. Now I gotta scroll back just to see if I missed out on anything else similar to that. Okay, so we don't have like an EX section yet. It might be entirely possible that Sephiroth was meant to learn an entirely different lesson from these experiences, but he's just so overpowered that he was able to brute force his way to the Masamune. World change. Maybe Sephiroth's development kind of shifted to him becoming the narcissistic dude he ultimately, became. This guy, Masamune. Okay, so it grows and shrinks at his will. It's kind of like the Kusanagi blade Orochimaru uses in Naruto. It grew for you, Alyssa. It's like the Keyblade and medium weapons in Kingdom Hearts. These guys sure love going off on their own in a haunted place where a bunch of soldiers and Shinra troops passed away. Are you about to fight Gilgamesh? Okay, this is a nice remix of the main FF7 theme. I feel like they don't really think about the meaning of the melodies, they just think about, okay, does this match the tone? Is this happy? Is it hopeful? Is it mysterious and creepy? Because this melody makes me think of the planet or even Cloud Strife himself. This is a repeat of a fight we had not so long ago. So do I have a Masamune in my possession? Hey yo, Alyssa, get his D out your damn mouth. For people that are in celebration of Sephiroth getting the Masamune, they really aren't acknowledging him. Oh wow, this is a dungeon. I was swearing that we weren't gonna have one of these. Okay, let's go the wrong way first. Let's try to find some more blue crystal. Hopefully they can put this in like a dungeon, because we don't get a lot of dungeons anymore. Okay, let's see. Has to be. Oh wow, that channel actually started in early 2021, and even has like a cool Jerry from Tom and Jerry profile pic. But you gotta get the fuck up out of here. Man, you gotta get up out of here. I might have to repeat this quest to get everything I possibly can. I didn't mean to accidentally, like, reach the end. Oof. Angeal's noticing that he's, like, getting arrogant now. That melody. They transpose some keys and the scale, but it's a high wind theme. Not the main theme. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, actually, a main theme and the high wind theme. It's a counter melody that I noticed from the high winds. Let's just take this to make it a little bit more Eastern. That's the idea. Oh nah. So I might have to redo this a couple times. Give me that. Oh no, not very acknowledging him. It's kind of weird how Bachman and Alyssa both devolved into Sephiroth stands. And Angeal is kind of a straight man. At first, I was like, no, Angeal is kind of annoying the hell out of me with this like Bruce Lee, like hyper disciplined warrior monk attitude he has. He's leader of this dojo persona, but now his instincts are being proven correct. You know, when your key is correct but your rhythm is off. That's what I notice is wrong with a lot of people and their attitudes. They got no sense of timing, but they know something is up. These guys usually have like some type of poison attack. See? I told you. So the reason I don't think this game is going to go end of service in a few months is because they already promised us Dirge of Cerberus, and I don't think they're going to do it in the form of like an Advent Children style event or that stuff we got with Glenn and First Soldier. Yeah. That's not a good thing to say. Just be around people that deride you all the time. That hell to the no. Well, that's one thing I will say about Angeal is that he does not fall for groupthink. But the consequence of that is that you end up just being in a position where you don't know what's the right decision to make if you're not equipped to go the right decision. You know what's the wrong move, but you don't know what the right move is. That's why this dude in Crisis Core was so loopy. I'm gonna work with Hollander. Now I'm not gonna work with Hollander. I'm gonna get in Zack's way. I'm gonna try to help Zack. It reminds me of like the answer from Persona 3. More so the answer rather than episode I guess, which I think kind of it takes away some of that J-horror element from the answer. character writing in it is better, just how people react, but the tone is off. What time is it? Oh wow, this is a nice twist. She looks like a JAV actress. Wow, they turned her into a Jenova thing. I've never seen you use it. Oh no. Nah. This man's talking some crazy shit. All those insecurities you have about yourself, they're true. But I still have your back. Looks like Freud got defeated this time around. Sephiroth kills the spitting image of his mother. We haven't seen the Hojo scene. I'm still waiting on that. Was that clickbait? I wonder if we'll see Bachman in part 3. So just stick to the written journalism. Maybe a couple pictures of Sephiroth and Angeal. Yeah, well, I already said it myself. So I know Alyssa was kind of caught in the spell of Jenova or whatever had a hold of her, but what was Bachman doing being that much of a dick eater? He just ate dick for the love of the game. He wasn't even possessed by any spirits. So yeah, we kind of called this before, but I remember in a Discord server, someone theorized that he was only seeing what he thought was a spitting image of his mother, and she actually looked like something different. Whole time she's Diet Haru from Persona 5. This looks like the Kingsfield 4 intro. Oh, he became a Sephiroth clone. A 7-Eleven crackhead. That's the fate of anyone that has Sephiroth cells, that fentanyl is strong. If anything, I'll just switch it to the recommends. Could you imagine if the shadows in Persona 4 looked like the shadows in the answer for Persona 3? Or even 5? They're even called Shadow Sephiroth and Shadow Angeal. Now, I think it would be worse for Personas 4 and 5 if that's how the shadows look like, but at the same time that's so horrific, it's kind of cool as a thought experiment. I don't think that recommended setup is actually any good. Damn. Never mind, we're really like that now. I must have forgotten about the Hojo scenes, that's what happens. I was thinking whatever trauma Sephiroth might have with Hojo is gonna be a bigger plot point than it actually was. Honestly, First Soldier season 2 or episode 2 was good, but the first part was better. This one, it was like, this could have been an email, almost. Partner, true hero, worthy of the sword, verse. Maybe I should change my title from Ambitious Fug to The First Fug. Worthy Fug. It's worth considering, I guess. Honestly, I think that the First Soldier's side story was a little bit more enriching. I mean, I like seeing Angeal kind of mentoring Sephiroth instead of just being the Zack mentor, and into a more coherent story than the schizo story that ended up being Crisis Core. But like, there were so many chapters I feel like you could have just kind of combined them together and it would have been better paced. Because it felt like there were maybe 3-4 chapters worth of story, if not maybe just 2. But it ended up being 6 chapters, which, whatever, it felt like filler. But you know, it deals with Sephiroth and his attachment issues and just him having to grow into a better person, which I find super interesting because this guy ultimately ends up being a villain. It's kind of rare for you to have a story where someone kind of works their way up to being a hero, knowing that they're going to end up being a villain anyway. Metal Gear kind of does it, but I don't play Metal Gear games, so I can only speak off of it from Let's Plays I've watched, and reviews, and analysis videos, and essays. That's about it. And I guess you could say maybe like Star Wars with Anakin and Darth Vader. But anyway, I enjoyed my time. So, it's been your boy Mr. Wonka 7. I will be switching over to Dark Cloud at some point, but thank you guys for watching. And Aksam Ekte. Stay tuned until I switch over to Dark Cloud.